What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumper. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bump.
Hey old TZB faithful, this is Madhouse.
And this is the final boost. And if you can tell already by looking at the video, we're going to be discussing Blazing Strike.
Yeah, we like the flow of the Spark and Zero video, so we figure we just do it this way for here on in.
Yeah, this will be what TCB Reviews is going forward.
Yeah, very casual approach that you don't really have to look at the images. It's a review, but it's more like we just chilling talking about it.
Yeah, we'll still do the talking about the presentation,
the gameplay,
all those things,
and to get the score.
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing exactly.
All right, so I guess we just go ahead and do it now.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get this started.
That don't look like much.
One chance to win. Blazing Strike.
So let's get right into it. What do you think about the presentation of Blazing Strike?
It feels very nostalgic.
Yeah, like late 90s, early 2000s Capcom SNK style game.
Yeah, like Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, but that's what most of remind me of SNK games.
Yeah, I can see that.
It feels nice. It's nice to look at.
Yeah, like you mentioned,
you was born in that era. I mean,
while we were playing, you said it was like it felt nostalgic.
Yeah,
I think they nailed the look. I think it looks, because it's kind of hard to kind of pin down what the game specifically looks like because of where so many of its inspirations on the sleeve.
Yeah,
it tries to mimic the animation style of like a Third Strike,
or try to look like a SNK game at the same time.
Yeah, but for what it is, I think everything kind of clicks well. I know like a lot of people have a issue from what I've read about the game with the character designs.
I don't see what the problem with the character designs is.
Like, there's no cohesion to them.
Yeah, but I don't think it's supposed to be because it was like during the story, it was like some type of world event that some world shattering event that happened. So of course everybody from years later, I guess, is from different people from different places are going to look different from each other.
Yeah, for because you got like special ops people, you have like gang people, you got wrestlers,
Mad Max
style wastelanders, you got ninjas. It's all kinds of weird grab bag of character looking like archetypes. And I think it works for the game's favor. I just think it gives the game makes them stand out.
But what I don't see what the beef is because it looks like everyone is like the style of the game, the style of the sprites are all like unified. You know what I mean? Like it don't look that weird when you put it all together.
Well, nobody's saying that they all look like different games.
Well, that's why I don't understand where the argument's coming from.
Well, yeah, I've always liked fighting games with more oddball style characters,
and there's definitely a lot of oddballs in this game,
like Guilty Gear and things like that. How these guys all feel like they're from like different places,
and that's what it remind me of, like early Guilty Gear mostly.
Yeah, like Guilty Gear felt like it was a whole bunch of characters just drawn into one spot and put into a fighting game.
I like when fighting games feel like Mugen.
Yeah, they feel like Mugen. But yeah, so I like the weird characters. I like that they're all over the place. I like that you can clearly tell who belongs to what faction.
Yeah,
things like that.
Well, we could use more like Mad Max characters.
So I don't know what they mean by like there's no real cohesion, but I don't think that was ever the idea.
Yeah, because to me the game looks great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Backgrounds look fine. Yeah, it could be a little bland at times. Like characters are kind of just standing there sometimes. But it's like the backgrounds look fine.
They're all nicely detailed, nicely colored. They all fit in the background. Yeah. Then. Like everything works
as a package. The game looks great. Like story mode got the little comic panels and the cutouts and stuff like that.
And they got their little cutscenes.
Yeah,
like it's all cool looking. It's fine. I think the character designs are, for the most part, there's not a character design I don't like.
Yeah, I like pretty much everybody in the game.
They all look good in my opinion. Nobody looks lame. So I think it looks good. I think everything looks good. If I had any complaint about the presentation as a whole, it would be kind of threefold. I think the game suffers from a lot of like missing frames in the character animations.
Well, like stilted animations.
Well, more like they kind of pop to the next kind of animation without any real follow through.
So it's like they animate weird sometimes.
Yeah, like it makes the game look jerky. Like sometimes it look like some characters like are artificially slowed down to kind of make it feel like the animation flows.
It is most likely it is a budget game.
I mean, obviously, but it gives it a real jerky feeling that it made me feel like our computer was messing up and couldn't run the game at first, because I'm not used to not having games like behave that way.
Yeah,
and then like the backgrounds move in a weird way.
It's jittery.
It's jittery, and that's weird. But you know what? I got used to it, and that's probably gonna be like a major thing in this video. You get used to hearing that, getting used to it, get used to hearing it. And I'm trying to consider about the development of the game, like we said, or did we say it? That it's a pretty small team, and it was probably developed by like programmed by like one guy. So I don't want to throw it under the bus for stuff, clear limitations.
Yeah, but it's still a bought product.
It's a product at the end of the day.
It was still $40. If it was free to play or like
a demo,
$20,
well, it was a demo,
or $10, yeah, I could let it slide. $40 is a bit steep for a game like this.
Yeah, but we'll go more into that later.
Okay, so about the music.
Yeah, that's my second complaint. I don't think the soundtrack meshes as well as the graphics do.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I like the music.
No, I'm not saying it's anything in particular is bad, but it feels like one track wants to like channel like just like the graphics. One musical track wants to channel like a Third Strike with its like Japanese drum and bass house music style stuff, thing. Yeah. And then you turn around and then you get like a desert stage that sounds like, I don't know, Metal Slug or something.
But yeah, but once again, I think that fit how differentiating the characters are.
I guess you can see it that way. I just got a lot of whiplash. Like I'd be hyped behind one track. Like, yeah, I get this. Okay, like this gives the game style. It feels like it has a lot of style to it. And then you go to another track, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah, they vary in quality.
They definitely vary in quality. But overall, it's not bad per se.
My beef with the music, I know it's gonna sound weird. I'm gonna try to explain it to the best of my ability. So it feel like you know how each round got his own theme.
Yeah.
It felt like you can only deconstruct the song so much for it to start sounding kind of weird.
Yeah, and I think every track has a pause variant too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
different. They take out some of the instruments.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different takes on the same song in this game.
But you like I said before, you can only deconstruct the song so much before it start feeling weird. And it's like, yeah, on Street Fighter usually they kind of deconstruct it twice. You get the initial theme, then you get the alternate version of that theme.
Yeah, there might be a damage, like a Street Fighter style, like pitch style music to the music too. It's just a whole lot of stuff going on where I just think if they would have just cleanly just did a round one and then a round two, something like what MK does, a round one, a round two to round three, and axed all that pause versions or pitch version of the music, I think that probably would have helped a lot better. Cause I just felt like in terms of music, it just felt like there was a whole lot of whooping.
Like it sounded very inconsistent.
Yeah, it sounded very inconsistent. Like the announcer was frustrating, which is my third. Like it's not a good announcer. I don't see how you botch this. If your inspiration is Third Strike, then you obviously just go for a Third Strike announcer, right?
One of the greater announcers.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, why do we got this fucking weird like
Japanglish
robot guy talking to us, and like it's really annoying. I don't like it.
Character voices sound good.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Like all that is fairly impressive for the size of the team.
Yeah, Demon Slash.
All that's fine. I don't have any complaints with the sound design. All the attacks sound nice and crunchy. Characters sound appropriate. They say their special names of their attacks, and it all sounds cool and whatnot. Yeah. All the voices fit the characters as far as I know. Some characters speak Japanese, but whatever.
Some do speak Brazilian, I think.
Yeah, so it's all fine in that area. It's just the fact that I feel as though the music is super inconsistent.
Okay.
And it drags the game down.
I can agree with that. So what game modes does the game has to offer?
It's not a whole lot. You got your arcade, story mode, online, and versus.
It's very, very basic.
Very basic. And I guess we'll start with the story, right?
Yeah.
So we played a bit of it because we started playing it, and the game turns out that it doesn't. We accidentally quit. And
You accidentally quit.
It was an accident, and when you do that, you got to start from the beginning of the story mode.
And I was like 20 minutes in or so.
Yeah, so I didn't want to play all that again.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of it? Because you played the majority of it. So, what did you play?
Now, they talk a lot at you. So, like, it's kind of hard in a fighting game. Like, it's no voice acting.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard to keep your attention span, especially when they got paragraphs of fucking information.
And they're just dropping all kinds of terms.
It's not as bad as Bloody Roar 3. But it's like, it's a lot happening in a very small time. It's like, they got comic book panels, they got cut-ins. And then it's like they meet God or some type of God analog.
Really?
He nukes the world.
That's kind of cool though.
Like, no, it's dope, but it's kind of confusing. But it's like it's so weird. It's like it's confusing, but it fits.
It feels super unfinished.
It feels, as far as we play it, feels super unfinished.
But the story itself is kind of cool.
Conceptually, it's cool.
But I'm not going to sit here and judge a fighting game for a story. It's not supposed to be Mortal Kombat. It's a big dumb story, and maybe, and that's fine if they meet God and God ended the world or something.
Let's call it biblically accurate angel guy. It's weird, and he shoot meteors and all that. And
you got no inkling from your 20 minutes of playing. You got no idea what the story consists of. So they just do a poor job of explaining stuff.
It's so much text. It's just so hard. Because you it's a fighting game. You want to play the fighting game.
No, I kind of want to hear the story.
I know that, but
I mean, you did click on story mode. I'm okay
aware,
if they indulge in the story
but
mode.
It's like it just feel like it's front loaded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess
it's not like it's MK when it's got the presentation and it got it's got stuff to distract you while you're waiting for your fights. Right? When you playing story mode, you kind of just staring at a screen. And while text crawl, and while that was cool back in the day because of limitations, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not spoiled from other games.
Well, I mean, I'm not judging this.
No, that's not what I mean. But what I mean is like it's not told in a compelling way.
Okay, I get what you mean. And then everyone, like all the art in the story in like a little comic panel is fantastic.
It's great.
All that is great. And plus, after that, they have like little cool storytelling segments with the sprites.
Yeah.
So all that's kind of neat.
You got to get there though.
You have to get there. Yeah, you have to get there. And like I said, I think it does a really poor job at explaining what the hell is actually happening. Which is strange because I remember the devs saying that they were going to make the story feel like more important.
You know, people it's like political shit. People like to keep promises they can't keep.
I know, but I was looking forward to the characters because everybody looked so unique.
Yeah.
So I was like, I would like to see how they all kind of congeal in this one world.
Well, you like I said, you got Jake, which is like he's a cool edgy guy, cool main character. You got a bit more personality you think you do. You got MJ, she kind of bubbly. You got the I forgot what the black ninja dude called. Some Japanese game black dude.
Graffiti,
that's his name. Graffiti. I was gonna call him the Pokemon Graphia, whatever. But you got him. He's kind of like in between. It's like you got the little robot dude, little broken robot ass dude, Zero. Yeah, like that seems like that's the main group, and they bounce off each other well enough.
I thought the Ryu guy would be the main character.
Oh yeah, and the Ryu guy. What's his name? Shizuki.
I forget. I forget what it was.
Shizuki,
not the Ryu
guy. That's his name, like Shin Ryuki or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know his name all the way. We're not aware of all the characters.
Yeah, we're still learning. We're learning the characters.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to seeing how this world kind of works, but I mean, from what I've read, it's just a whole bunch of like information without letting you know or letting you in on what that information actually means. Like this is a sequel or something.
Like I'm sure if I replay the story and pay attention to more of the text, like I paid attention when the characters started talking because I was interested in the characters.
Yeah.
But it was like this whole like build up and shit. Like when it got to the comic panels and the biblically accurate angel, it was cool.
Biblically accurate angel.
Yeah. When it got to all that, it was cool. But it's like the whole front load at the beginning was just a bit too much. That's all. For the 20 minutes I played till you quit.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that.
But I think it's doing well enough. But what they need to do is add a chapter mode or something of that nature.
Yeah, definitely add a goddamn save system. I don't understand why there wasn't one to begin with. We are who we are. But in my opinion, the story mode is serviceable. Like it's story mode. What do you want? I mean, I get
chapter mode.
I get what you mean. Whereas like they kind of just front load information at you, and maybe that could have been done a bit more easier. Maybe all these paragraphs should have been reduced down, like reread and reduced to a couple less sentences.
Yeah, digestible.
Yeah, so it still feels like I'm just looking through storyboards, and that's weird. Like, because even for the comic panels, they kind of feel just kind of amateurish.
No, they don't.
I think so.
They definitely drew well.
No. I'm talking about the way it's presented. The way it's presented, not how they look. How it's presented.
I think the entire thing should have been like comic panels.
Yeah, maybe dedicated to that style.
Yeah.
And then change your word bubbles, because the word bubbles look like, just like super like beta. It's done in like this generic fucking, and like they're not like centered in the right way, and everything just looks like it's super rushed.
Yeah.
And that's like my major complaint, and that's why I was talking about how it's presented to you. Not exactly the art, because the art is good.
Yeah.
But how it's presented to you looks slapdash and quickly put together before the game release. Other than that, it's okay.
Yeah, it's workable. I think I might play through it eventually anyway.
Maybe if I'm feeling bored one day, I might do it. Let's quickly touch the arcade mode real quick.
Arcade mode.
Well, okay, so you go about 6 or 7 fights, and the game doesn't even have a final boss.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have a final boss.
Yes, you do. Your arcade mode should have a final boss.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, like later type of situation.
I haven't seen a game's arcade mode without a final boss since MK4, and that's from the arcade version. So
the stages got gimmicks at least. So
there's no point in this might as well. I mean, I don't like the idea, and final bosses are needed. Absolutely, but I don't care what it is. Put in Demon Mateo or some shit. I don't give a fuck. But it should have been the final boss. I just feel like I wasted my time.
It kind of just ended.
And then you get nothing for it.
Stages has gimmicks though.
Yeah, the stages have gimmicks, and they vary. One stage is like a cyclone that kind of pulls you in, and it's more annoying than fun.
Yeah, but I heard people complaining about it. But to me, they got me thinking it was like on every stage.
It's not.
It's not.
But like on the prison stage, you'll have guys on the side. If you touch the corner, the mooks will like touch you. They will touch you. They will grab you and hold you in place for the opponent to hit you. Like it's more annoying than anything else. So I don't know what they were kind of going for. And then like in the skate park level,
variety, I guess.
Variety, sure, and it's arcade mode, so it's not like you have to like play a competitive match, obviously.
Yeah,
but you got barrels in the back of the skate park stage, and like it's not really used for anything. Probably more damage when they bust to the side of it. But like the tornado and the prisoners in the prison stage holding you was really more annoying than fun.
So not enjoyable.
Well, because there's no fucking boss, so of course it's not enjoyable. So I just played for a whole bunch of annoying stage gimmicks, and there's nothing to show for it.
Look, last boss is Demon Mateo.
That's canon.
It's canon. Last boss is Demon Mateo. So you want to talk about the training mode?
Yeah, the training mode is fairly bog standard. I guess for a game of this size, you get your input display, your hitbox display, your stun meter, your damage display meter, and you get like a replay function too if you want to test like situations. But the problem is that you have to do all this before entering training mode.
And I don't understand why that's a thing. What is this game problem with just front loading nonsense on you?
It's kind of like Garo. You know how the way Garo did it?
Yeah.
Or other SNK style Neo Geo games at the time? It's kind of like that, but except for hitting select and returning to that menu at any given time, you have to quit through the main menu.
You sure you can't hit select? And
I try mashing every button. You can't. You have to go through the main menu every time.
I have a theory.
Okay, well, nobody's going to get that, but
it don't matter. I think that's a leftover like from his development of the game. So I think he probably had like a way of getting directly to the training mode from wherever he was, wherever the option was, and that'd be the first thing that pop up.
Whatever it is, it should have been at the training menu regardless. The training menu should have been implemented into the pause menu regardless.
Yeah, somehow he made training repetitive.
Otherwise, it's fine. It's functional.
It can be patched.
It can be patched. Training works. You get hitboxes and all that stuff is fine.
So how do you feel about the online? You played it mostly.
Yeah, so given the nature of these, smaller game releases, there wasn't a giant player base to compare myself with or a giant sample size to test the rollback netcode here. And the opponent quality wasn't exactly, the best.
Yeah, you were by far the best player.
I felt like I lost to like one good Alexander player, but other than that, everybody else I just kind of walked over. And for the most part, it felt like they were on Wi-Fi as well.
But the game is rollback, so,
yeah,
it does give it that timeless quality. It's like you could always come back to it.
So yeah, I wish there was some way to identify who's on Wi-Fi and who's on Ethernet. But for what it was worth, it did a good job not shitting the bed. It's solid.
And it's really solid for a game of a game of this scope right out the box. It is solid. There's no rank mode or anything.
Yeah, just quick match in lobby, I believe.
But overall, it seemed like it was just an enjoyable time.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not anything like massively impressive. I think there wasn't any drop inputs or anything like that. It didn't skip all too much other than what I felt like it was Wi-Fi. Other than that, but everything held together fine. You can play this game online, no problem. If you can find somebody to play with, hopefully it's somebody with an Ethernet. What do you think about the gameplay of Blazing Strike?
It was very confusing, man. Like, it had nothing explained the game. So we had to learn the game from the ground up. And I know you're supposed to do that with newer games, but it's like, it was frustratingly confusing, especially with the game mechanics.
Yeah, so it's not like it's a mechanically like busy game, but there is like nuances. There's things like a parry and like a perfect parry for some reason that
barely happened.
I never knew how to get out consistently. I don't know if it's like a frame thing.
You said it was a Vism too. I don't even know how to do it at all.
Right, so yeah, you just hold like both trigger buttons and your character will enter like a Vsym state where you can get infinite run meter.
I've never once utilized that.
So Blazing Strike is supposed to be a mix of old school and new school.
So now, like modern controls?
Well, no, not really. It's the rush button or the run. Like it works like an MK run button, right? Where if you hold the rush button, you have this meter. It goes down, and you can change your light normals into like strings, or like
chains or whatever,
auto combos, whatever name you want to go for.
So it's like a drive rush by means of like MK Run.
I don't know. I wouldn't exactly call it a drive rush. I thought it was a drive rush at first, but it's not really, because in this mode you get to run, you get the backdash, and you get the super jump,
and you get the chains,
and you get your chains. So the chains kind of work like they're unique enough. Like MJ, the character I played, the first hit of her kick rush attack actually caused enough hit stun for me to link into a normal.
And like the ninja girl had like an overhead of her string and stuff like that.
So yeah, it's all different stuff, but that's how instead of having like links or like a typical SNK style where you do a normal then a command normal into a special.
Yeah.
And it's not that, it's just the way you combo. A basic combo structure in this game is your light, because every character pretty much has 2 light attacks. I guess time to confirm it to your rush.
Yeah.
So you do a light, and then you rush, and then you do your special move. That's how we started. And then as I got deeper into the game,
you found little nuances.
Yeah, like I said, like MJ's first hit of her kick rush attack, you can link into follow-ups. So I used it to link into a normal, and then to the kick again, and then I ended up getting like 100% combos.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna show that. But that's a good comparison, because I wasn't thinking about it as if like a KOF game, and KOF is very nuancy. But KOF itself, other than 16-point commands, which still shouldn't exist, KOF is very simple in terms of playing it.
Yeah.
Characters play I'm not going to say they play similar. Matter of fact, yeah. KOF is a very apt comparison to this game. Because it's a simple game, but it seems like it's deep enough.
And yeah, this game has a good amount of depth to it. Like I said, once you start to understand the rush system, which I was very like negative on at first.
Well, after Drive Rush, I can see how.
I just thought it was just like, oh, okay, I do my light confirms until my rush attack, until my
everybody do the same thing,
and everybody do the same thing. And the combo structure, I think, still needs to be opened up between characters. Like maybe you do need counter hits so you can link more normals into stuff instead of just doing the light rush attack, light rush attack special move, light rush attack special move super kind of thing. And everybody kind of follows that format.
I mean, they got different gimmicks when you double tap the rush button.
Characters all play differently. It's just the way they do combos for the scene.
It feel kind of structured.
And
but like they got the special abilities like when you double tap.
Yeah, that too. And I didn't find like super uses for it. Like
some characters are super useful. Most of mine's at least.
MJ got like an unblockable kick. That's useful.
It's meant to catch people who's sleeping.
Shinsuke or whatever his name is, the Ryu guy, he has like a flash step where he can teleport behind you or something.
Alexander got like a body shack.
And
the ninja girl, I forgot her name.
Yeah.
I forgot her name. But the ninja girl, Yoshimitsu girl, she got like a vanish move that she can appear like above a front of you.
And Nagi has poison, which I never really I don't know what it does.
Hana got this she can make her light she can make her knives do dot damage through block.
And that's really strong. That's really fucking strong. That's pretty much the rush system. It's okay. It works once you start to understand what it wants from you. My major issue is that it's tied to actual like running.
The movement. Like the super jumps and the back dash.
Right,
and the forward dash.
Your higher movement. And I find that kind of frustrating because you have to walk everywhere and they want this game to be aggressive.
Yeah, but like you still play a neutral. Even when you hold in the rush button, you still play neutral.
Yeah, it's a weird mix because I'm gonna be honest. Like it's like once again, once you get used to it, it grows on you. Like you kind of understand. Like, oh, okay, well, I kind of get why they have your characters move but don't really dash because walk speeds aren't really that slow.
No, so characters jet across the screen.
Of course, if you're a zoner, you'll have a slower walk speed than somebody like MJ, who's a rushdown character. But the run button is a privilege, right? And that's for you to rush in and violate neutral or do whatever you want, but it costs meter, and your characters can dash, cancel heavies. It's a light, like it's a flexible system.
Yeah, like and then plus during the chains, like some characters that might have overheads, they might have lows. So like it's shit you gotta look out for. So it's not like every character play the same. And, I mean, yeah, I understand what you mean when you say they all follow the same flow.
Right.
But they do have nuances within that chain.
Yeah, it's not shallow at all. I thought it was shallow at first, but once again, as you get used to it, as you train more into the game, I think it has a nice flow to it. The game is aggressive, but at the same time, it doesn't feel overly aggressive.
Yeah. It don't feel like it's dumbing itself down.
No, well, not that. It just feels like it has a good pace to it.
Oh, it definitely got a good pace. I like the game flow.
So, yeah.
The only thing I don't like how it feels is the parry. It's too slippery. It's like, it just feels like it just happens. And I understand they got that, like you said before, they got that weird perfect parry thing. But it's like, it feels too inconsequential to what's happening. Like a lot of times it'll happen by accident.
Yeah, but once you start utilizing it, you can be like, "Oh, you're zoning me."
Yeah.
Well, I can. And parry is by hitting forward, obviously.
Yeah,
hitting forward.
The actual way a parry is supposed to be, putting yourself in danger for the sake of some opportunity.
So yeah, so you can say, "Oh, you're zoning me," and then you can parry it, and then rush in with the run button and do your punish, and all that's like real.
Yeah.
Like so, you can do stuff like that.
The game is very cool. Like it's cool. I'm surprised if this game. I'm pretty sure this game wasn't made by one person, but it was probably, like we said before, it's probably programmed by one person.
Yeah.
But they did a good job, and they should be proud.
Yeah. Despite my issues with the game, like despite once you get past the game not explaining shit to you. Once you get past like trying to get an idea of what these characters can do and you get a pretty good idea of how everything works, the game is surprisingly fun. And I'm going back for more after this video.
Oh yeah. We won't play this game for the bad.
It's a fun game.
We already put a lot of time into this game.
Right. So trust me, once you get past the initial awkwardness of it, it's a fun game.
All the characters are different enough to work.
Yeah.
It's very fighting game.
And
I know that's a weird sentence to say, but in today's climate, it's a good fighting game.
If you don't mind everybody kind of sharing the same combo path for the most part, light, rush attack, and like for you first starting out.
Yeah, but they do the same thing in KOF.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, like everybody's win condition is different. Like it's fine. It all works. Just get past the awkwardness at first.
It's a fun game. It's very demure.
Now, with all that said and done, where would you rank Blazing Strike?
Let me see. Now, we keep saying that the game is like possibly programmed by one person, and it shows. In a lot of aspects of the game, it shows.
It's super unfinished. It's not polished to any degree. The gameplay is where the most polish is at, and that's probably the most important aspect of the game.
Yeah. So you did this semi-unique gameplay, and the rollback netcode carries this game.
Yeah. So as long $40 is a massive action
It's
price.
too steep of an action price. I don't know who set this up for it to be $40. It's probably Arxis, but I don't know who set this up to be $40. But you possibly heard this game.
Yeah, like I can't remember. Like if this game would have came out before the Street Fighter 16, I think $40 would be an appropriate action.
Look at Idol Showdown. I'm not sure if it's still popular now.
That's free to play.
But it's free to play. But while
It got really popular.
while everybody was in the Street Fighter 6 waiting room, it got popular.
Right. So I think before Street Fighter 6 release, this probably could have been okay at $40. But for now, and for the amount of work put into the game, come on, man. This is like a $15, $20 release.
It's not even fit. I think $10.
I think I can charge $20.
I can swing 15. I can swing 15 to 20. And if it was a complete product with the amount of modes it has and all that junk like that, what I'm trying to say is, from the state the game is now,
It's $20 to $15.
it's not worth the price it is.
And
now.
they probably just damned it. Like it's gonna
They damned
die.
it 'cause it's too steep.
I mean, that's the curse of all indie games anyway. Like unless you're like a Brawlhalla or a Skullgirls, it just seems like other indie fighting games can't crack that ceiling.
Yeah, if you can get these license or Coomer with the fact that, and I love Skullgirls, don't get it twisted, but you ask for a score.
And yeah, so what's your score?
I would say a 2, maybe 2.5 if I had to pick, and I'm being very lenient here. 2.5.
And you know what? That seems right for me. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 as well.
All right.
So with that being said, Blazing Strike strikes in at a TCB combined score of a 5.
No, that's fair. That's fair for this game.
Yeah.
Now let's go into the pros and cons.
On the positive side, I think the game achieved what it was going out to do and looking like a late 90s, early 2000s Capcom SNK style fighter.
Once gotten used to, the game's gameplay is very fun and distinct.
Despite not being an impressive feat for today's day and age, the rollback provided for Blazing Strike is solid.
On the negative side, from the unexplained mechanics and the lacking nature of the game in general, it feels pretty unfinished.
Unlike the visuals, we feel the music of the game is very hit or miss.
And let's be fair, $40 of an action price is a bit too steep for a game in this condition.
Would I ask anybody to go out and get Blazing Strike right at this moment? No.
Unless you know what you're getting into.
Right, it's $40 is too much a commitment for an untested indie game.
Yeah, but the thing is, the game do pass the fun test.
Right, and there's a lot of love here. So I'm not saying like it's all like soulless or anything like that. Like you can feel the love the devs put into this game.
And like we said before, at the end of the day, the game is $40. So we understand what situation the game was in, but you took money out of my wallet. So therefore, I'm going to hold you to scrutiny as any other game.
Well, you didn't take money out of your wallet. You paid for the game.
No, what I mean is they asked for a lot of money. That's what I mean.
Right.
They asked for money in general. If it was free to play, wouldn't it be that big of a deal? If it was cheaper, wouldn't it be that big of a deal? Well, $40 is kind of in that sweet spot area where, again, like I think I said before, where it's just enough money to not care, but just enough money to think about it coming out of your wallet.
Right. So the game has 2 DLC characters coming up free.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it has 2 free DLC characters coming up. So hopefully between those 2, the game will get some much needed patches.
You'll see it around the channel.
Right, because this game is rough.
It is. It's very rough around the edges.
But honestly, I think there's a lot of potential in it.
I just hope the game gets the support it needs, because it could be a completely different game a year from now.
Yeah, so let's hope with the next 2 DLC characters, the game gets some patches. If they can't fix everything, just take out all the weird infinites out of the core gameplay and like kind of spruce up the gameplay a bit. I feel like give characters more combo routes or more specialized combo routes. Maybe bring in counter hits or something. And please make a guide. Make a guide for your characters and also, make training mode.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And make training mode options in training mode, please.
Also, give the game a chapter mode so we can play the story mode without worrying about like, I have to play it all the way through
in one sitting. Other than that, I think the game is fine.
It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's not worth $40, but if you end up picking it up, you'll have a good time.
And besides, if it gets what it needs, it will be one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was our look at Blazing Strike. Stay tuned for our next review, which will be Sonic X Shadow Generations. For the game coming from the Sonic fan base, that is an unfortunate name. See you next time.
See.